Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Maureen Gribble with UE Systems. Feel like it's been a minute since we've done one of these, so I'm thankful for those of you that have decided to join us today. We are going to be talking all things leak detection. So as most of you are probably aware, compressed air is actually 8 times as expensive as your electricity is, and likely you're leaking a lot of it and not realizing it, or you realize it and you just haven't kind of gotten your arms wrapped around how you're going to find those and fix them and solve that problem. But luckily, ultrasound is a fantastic way to do just that. And that's what we're going to be talking about today with Chase Sasser. So we're excited about that. Before we dive in, though, just a couple housekeeping things for you guys. First, we definitely welcome questions. So feel free to pop those into the little questions box throughout the session. I'll be keeping an eye on those, and we'll get questions tossed over to Chase to answer throughout the presentation if it makes sense, if someone needs some clarification on something, or of course we'll spend some time at the end doing that as well. We are going to record this, or we are actually recording it right now. And so we'll pop this up on our YouTube channel later today. So you can easily find actually, all of our recorded webinars by going to YouTube and just searching for UE Systems. You'll see we've got tons and tons and tons of videos and resources there, and this will be added to that later today, like I said. And just always like to remind, we are doing this live, and actually today we're doing kind of our first, you'll see once Chase takes over, our first shot at doing this on camera. So Chase is actually going to be doing some more interactive portions of this rather than just PowerPoint slides the whole time. So of course, just bear with us if we have any internet issues, audio issues. We will absolutely solve them as quickly as we can. Should any of those arise, if you hear dogs barking, just ignore them. They live here too. Anyway, so with that, I am going to turn the screen over to Chase, and Chase will let you take it away.
All right, perfect. All right, thank you, Maureen. I really appreciate the introduction there. So I'm gonna get into slide view mode for PowerPoint, and then again, like Maureen was saying, we're gonna use this leak board behind us to actually kind of work through some of the new Leak Survey SideKick app and go over the ins and outs of it, and also kind of show some of the reporting there at the end of the presentation here. But without further ado, let me click over here and swap some things out. All right, perfect. So kind of getting into, the topic of leaks. That's, as far as ultrasound goes, it's one of our oldest applications, or probably is the oldest application that we have here at UE Systems, and quite frankly, one of the easiest. I always tell a story whenever I'm going into a facility. I've hidden some of these warble tone generators, which, if y'all don't know what that looks like, it looks like this right here. It kind of creates a little ultrasound, and play a little game with my kiddo who's 10. So, if I can get her finding these things, we definitely can get every one of you out there up and going on how to find leaks and report and tag and track them and all that good stuff. So, kind of looking right in who we are, UE Systems. We've been around for over 45 years. We've got our 50th anniversary coming up next year. But we're in Elmsford, New York. That's where all of our instruments are made, is right up there, about 30 minutes north, right up the Hudson River in New York there. And just kind of talking a little bit about, warranty and that sort of thing. We do have 5-year warranty on any of our equipment that we're going to kind of go over throughout the presentation here. But a little bit about myself. I'm actually in Birmingham, Alabama. I am a regional manager. I've been with UE Systems, actually August will be 10 years. And yeah, jack of all trades. So if y'all got any questions regarding ultrasound, if I don't know it, we got a good team here to help find that answer for you. So, all right. So we always get these questions. Hey, why are we actually using ultrasound? What are we? What's the reason? So obviously, nowadays in times, we've got the need for, increased documentation. Hey, I need to prove that this equipment that I'm gonna buy is actually, worth its weight in gold, or, we just need to show some numbers that, hey, what we're doing as a team, like a reliability team or an energy consumption team, is actually paying off. Showing that documentation and reporting, and then, there's big data out there. Everybody's collecting data, whether it's on your phone or whatever Excel spreadsheets that you're trying to track and collect data for whatever reason. That's all obviously increased. I think here in the past 2 years, probably tenfold, with everybody being a little bit more centralized to the home and working from home aspect. But yeah, and really, maintenance reliability professionals do need a simple tool to get out there and be able to use and quickly be taught via either a 1-hour webinar, or even, I think we've got 30-second tutorials, or actually I believe they're about 2.5 minutes. It's on our website that you can get up and get dangerous enough to use the equipment, be able to document leaks and that sort of thing. So the ease of a tool really gives the ability to get out there, boots on the ground. But definitely ultrasound is a multi-application tool. Some of the other applications that I'm not really going to jump into for this webinar, but electrical, steam traps, testing valves, and another big one, bearings for lubrication purposes. But yeah, so that's kind of some of the reasons why ultrasound, why we're using ultrasound. And then, what is ultrasound? So, as basic as I can get it, we're listening to certain frequencies, right, with our equipment, whether it's a piece of equipment that's fixed at a certain frequency or one that can adjust. And we'll kind of go over some of those here in just a moment. But the ultrasonic range is from 20 kilohertz and above. So everything above 20 kilohertz is ultrasound range. And with our equipment, we stop at 100 kilohertz because, quite frankly, if you'll notice, if you look in the ISO standards and that sort of thing, really we only go up to, as far as the useful frequencies, up to about 40. 40 and below is kind of our sweet spot. But the human hearing, it kind of tops out around 16.5 kilohertz, maybe 17 for a few people, but that's going to be the upper threshold, and where we kind of tend to lose that sound or whatnot with it. So, but all the measurements, all the units that we use are measured in decibels. But the advantages of ultrasound, a lot of times, like a number one question that I get asked whenever I'm in a facility is, so what about the forklift driving by next to me? Or, am I going to be able to hear these leaks while the siren's going? Well, quickly, the answer is yes. And mainly because we're using these different frequencies to center in and on. Essentially 40 kilohertz is our sweet spot for listening to these leaks, whether it's a air leak or vacuum leak. But also you're able to use it with your typical PPE. So, you've got your safety glasses, hard hat. Most of our headsets are hard hat style, so it makes it comfortable to wear with a hard hat, and also as well as a safety vest, that sort of thing. So the type of equipment that we have available, basically all of our digital units are viable ultra probes to use for finding air leaks. Now, I do want to go over it for the purpose of the video, and you'll notice the size of the equipment. The UltraProbe 3000, if you're just solely looking for a cheap go-to kind of piece of equipment that you can hand off to a reliability engineer, a mechanical engineer, or electrical engineer, anyone really, it's a quick, easy tool, very lightweight. It is fixed at 40 kilohertz, so it's optimum for compressed air or gas leak detection. But then some of the other units that we have, if you're looking to get something that's intrinsically safe, or if you have a need for that, the 9000 is probably where you want to be at. It does have the ability to frequency tune to give you a little bit more range of, the applications that we have to offer that I mentioned earlier, like the, listening to bearings and other applications. But and then you get into the UltraProbe 10,000 and 15,000, which kind of opens the door for being able to record sounds, so you can play them back on a, FFT or time waveform, that sort of thing. So as far as the UltraProbes go, that's what we would typically just right off the cuff recommend. Again, the 3000 is very lightweight, very economical, and budget friendly for going out and doing a leak survey. But also the accessories that we have, I know a lot of people don't think about some of these, but now as part of the presentation, I would say, all right, raise your hand if you've got a ladder in your facility and you'd probably have to climb up the ladder. Well, yeah, almost everybody, right? So a holster is definitely very useful. Each of the holsters for each of the UltraProbes are fitted per that UltraProbe, and makes it where you can always have 3 points to contact at the on the ladder and that sort of thing. So, but also leak tags, definitely something that you'll want. And if you don't have leak tags, I mean, just get at least surveyor's tape, something that you can at least go up, tie around the leak or the suspect area, so that you can hopefully document with the Leak Survey SideKick app. And then a clipboard. Now it doesn't have to be a clipboard. It could be a piece of cardboard or a notepad, something like that. I've seen people we've kind of gotten away from wipe rags, but a gloved hand, something like that, to help shield your suspect area. But definitely on a note real quick, if you do or are interested, our new leak app, the SideKick, Leak Survey SideKick, which should be there on the screen for you, that little gas gauge with the leak in the background, that's what it looks like. So if you just type in Leak Survey SideKick, it should be the first one that pops up at the top of your screen. It's free and available for the iOS and Android devices. So if you want, you can go and download that right now while I'm talking through a little bit of the rest of the PowerPoint slides here, because we will jump into this live here in just a moment. So, as far as training, we got a lot of options. I know if you do know anything about UE systems, we're big on support. So the equipment orientations, typically, if you get a piece of equipment, we do like to, at bare minimum, have a online meeting with you and the team of here's how to use the equipment. Hopefully we can do something like that on site. But we do offer now an online compressed air survey certification, and also a level of completion on training. But definitely it's an online training module, work at your own pace kind of deal. I think roughly about 4 hours or less is a good guesstimation on time that you would take going through that online class. And then once you do that, we do actually require you to go out and do a leak survey and send it to our trainers. And as soon as they sign off on it and say that, hey, looks like you've got everything spot on here, we'll send you an actual certification saying that you're compressed air leak survey certified. So, and then last but not least, just as most other predictive technologies, we have ultrasound level 1 and ultrasound level 2, and we hold those online or in person. So if you'll check our website on the training schedule, we hold those all over the globe. So definitely keep a lookout. If you have if you're anywhere in the United States, we're pretty much going to bring a level 1 close to you. So, all right. So the two different types of leaks, I know I've kind of touched on them a little bit here, but obviously pressure leaks, leaks that we typically say 5 psi and above. Our equipment is a no-brainer at utilizing our utilizing ultrasound when finding those. And then vacuum leaks, obviously, it's just the reverse. It's the air leaking into a vessel or a pipe or whatnot. Sometimes, depending on that pressure, you might have to get a little bit closer, or even actually some of the modules that we have, you might have to use like a close focusing module for compressed, a vacuum leak, or even use like a stethoscope module to actually touch on the suspected area to find it. So, but with both of those, just kind of quickly, some of the characteristics that we see, in pretty much every facility. So you're going to have, metal and concrete. That's pretty much what most facilities are made out of. So sonic deflection is going to be, it's going to be there. It's going to be evident, and it's going to be very quickly because, quite frankly, whenever you're finding a leak, you're going to notice that, all right, every now and then you might find a leak that's headed, directly at a wall. Well, obviously, if you're looking and there's no pipes on the wall, then clearly that's sonic deflection. So you can just kind of use the equipment to go the other direction and chase that leak down until you can find that actual leak source. But one of the advantages of ultrasound is the ultrasound is very directional. And one of the things that I've been taught very, very early is is kind of imagine yourself in a crowd, like at a concert, rock concert, and someone recognizes you and starts yelling your name. Well, you kind of start looking around, kind of maybe in a certain direction, but it takes you a moment to really pinpoint and locate that person out in the crowd. Well, ultrasound is a little bit more directional than that. That would be what we call omnidirectional, whereas ultrasound is very directional. Wherever you point that piece of equipment towards, say, a leak, it's going to instantly tell you and let you know that you're either close or not. So, but with that, kind of honing in with some of the other modules to find like pressure leaks or even a vacuum leak. I mentioned the close focusing module. That's more of, if you're in a already quiet area and you're trying to find a itsy bitsy teeny tiny compressed air leak or vacuum leak. And then we've got what's called a long range module that can get you out to, say, like 80 to 100 feet, stuff good for like rafters, overhead piping, that sort of thing. But typically just your regular scanning module that comes with mostly standard with equipment, that's going to be, what we want to use to help document and track these cost savings that we're going to do here in just a moment. But not only that, with the scanning module and what we call our rubber focusing probe, this setup is what we would use to actually, seal up on the leak. And if anybody that's been through any of the classes, you'll pull back 12 to 15 inches. And at that distance, that's what we're going to use. Whatever decibel the equipment says, that's what we're going to use to actually document these leaks. Okay. All right. So next in line, now that we've kind of gone over some of the equipment, the training, the accessories, what types of leaks we're looking for, now we got to, have a game plan. All right. So when you're going out and looking with, trying to do training with some of your team, typically we call that Easter egg hunting. You're going around, you're just finding, leaks here, leaks there. Typically the loudest leak's going to draw you to it, that sort of thing. But the main thing is, you want to have a plan, you want to have a game plan whenever you're going out there. Now we do have UE Systems, we've created a leak survey procedure. And here's a screenshot of it, and we'll see if this will come up. Yeah, here we go. So this is, just a quick template and if anybody is interested in this, if you will put in the chat or email me or ping us somehow or another, we will get this to you. It's just a, basic instructions, procedure, step-by-step, reference links to manuals, the leak, and actually we do have a tutorial of the SideKick app that's out there as well already. But just simplistic, here's what you want to do step by step, and record and document that sort of thing, and repeat the steps if necessary. So But definitely you want to have a procedure to have your guys, you know, so they're not walking around blind out there and just all willy-nilly finding leaks and tagging them. You want to have a game plan, like setting up zones in a certain area. So say, you know, if you're, you know, at a certain facility and you've got, like, say, a line 1 and a line 2, you know, you want to stay on line 1 and you want to start out at the top, you know, the first process, and just kind of work your way down the line. Or if you need to set up, you know, different mezzanine levels, like, you know, stay on the first level and then scan in all the areas before you move to the second level, because it will be evident, you know, if you've got a larger leak, it's going to draw it to you much quicker than you would think. It basically will flood out all the other smaller leaks that are possibly in the area and you know, crop up to the top. So that's one thing to kind of be aware of. So definitely having a procedure, setting up zones, or what we call walking the line, where you're, you know, starting out at a compressor area or the holding tanks, and then literally just following the compressed air lines all the way down to the end process. So so those are the kind of two ways that we would suggest to conduct a leak survey. So and I think with that, I am done with the PowerPoint slides at this moment. So up next, there's my information, but obviously we can get this out, and obviously this is recorded. But what we're gonna do now is switch gears and actually use our Leak Survey SideKick app here. But first, we're going to actually click off my screen here and just show us here. I'm going to find a leak on our leak board over here. Let me turn this on. All right, so I've got this this guy, and we're just for sound quality and purposes, we're going to keep this at roughly 20 psi, maybe 15, a little bit less. And I've got a speaker here so that, you know, maybe we'll be able to kind of hear this leak and document it. So kind of just showing you, hey, this is how I would go up, find a leak, and what I'm looking for to actually record the decibel and enter it in on the app. So so first thing, I'm doing what's called the gross define method. I'm going up and kind of waving up, down, left, right, in all directions. And obviously we want to make sure we're all safetied up. So make sure you have your lanyard on. And we've got this speaker here for us to project it, so I'm not having to wear headsets. But definitely want to make sure you got all your PPE on. And but you want to use your scanning module and scan up, down, left, right, in all directions. And you constantly want to be adjusting your sensitivity. If you're not adjusting your sensitivity, you're not doing it right. So you'll get in an area where, if you're not adjusting the sensitivity, you'll get in an area where it sounds like in all directions. When you point the gun left, right, up, or down, everything sounds the same. If that happens, you have to turn the sensitivity down to be successful at doing a leak survey. So I'm constantly dialing this in and out. So, but here we go. Let's see what we can get here on a reading. And so I know I'm in a certain area here. And let's see. All right, here we go. We've got one right here. And it looks like it's filled up on it. Let's go. All right, 12 to 15 inches, and I'm getting 38 decibels here on the screen for us. So what we'll do from there, let's see, what is that? Maybe a reduction valve here. All right, so I'm going to go back into sharing my screen here. Perfect. All right. So this is the Leak Survey SideKick app. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to quickly just make a new survey. And whenever you open the app, you can see real quickly we're in the home screen. This is going to give us the option to add a new survey or create an existing survey. So we're going to hit new survey. And in here, let's see, training studio. And tap OK. All right, so as you can see here, I've got a few leak surveys that I've created already, but so this is the survey manager, so it shows all of them. And I'm gonna hit this training studio one. And first off, it's blank, so we're gonna hit that plus sign up in the top right corner. Type in my location. Say we're in the training room. And my decibel was 38. And my pressure was, like I said earlier, it was we're only looking at like 15 psi, but just for purposes here, we'll keep it at 100. And right here, something kind of new with the Leak app, we're able to put the number of tags here within the app itself. And just as normal, we're able to select which gas we would like. Oop. And then we can put any comments. So let's say it's on the clear pipe. Hit done. And one of the good features here is now we had the ability to add images before, but now we've got a little bit more freedom on being able to actually draw on the picture itself. So say you get it into this picture area right here. Yeah, we've hung a tag or whatnot, but we need to do a little bit more just to pinpoint it, so we can draw on the screen itself. And if we want to add some text, we can do that as well. So I'll put here is the leak and hit done. And if you'd like to drag that anywhere else on the screen, you can. So whenever you're done adding all that, you can remove it if you'd like by hitting the X remove icon down there, but we're going to hit the save icon. And as you can see, it kind of embeds it into that first leak, and we'll hit save. And then it tells us immediately leak added. We'll tap OK, and then it immediately tells you, if you've got, however much cost avoidance you have, and if you need to add some more, then you can, start finding your other leaks. So, and if you want to say you're able to fix that leak on the spot, all we do is tap that training room leak right there again, and it comes up mark as repaired, or you can edit it. And when you mark it as repaired, that leak will turn green. The dollar figure amount there will turn from red to green. So, all right. So, just a quick rip at it. That's how we would go in and add a leak to a survey, or create a survey and start adding your leaks and actually repairing them and showing you how to repair those. But now I kind of want to go over a few more of the features that the app has to offer. One big step that we've shifted from our old one to our new one is the ability to have multiple existing apps. So you're able to track, say quarter over quarter or year after year and that sort of thing. And if we hit this little collapse 3 dashes over in the top left corner, it'll bring us to our menu selection. So the home screen is where we were, but if we want to overview, if we tap that, then it will bring up all of our leak surveys that we've added to the app. And what it'll do is give us the opportunity from this screen. This is where we would actually produce the report. So if I wanted to, say I wanted to do a report on all of these leak surveys, the training studio, my recirculate, dryer, and line 1 leak surveys, I would just tap them all. And we've got a little pie chart up there that kind of tracks, hey, what has not been repaired versus what has been repaired as far as a dollar figure. But let's say just want to do the training studio. So I would tap it. I want to do a report on this one, so I'll tap the arrow that's pointing down up in the top right corner. And we've got the ability here to report with images or without. So, and the reason for this is just quite simply for people that are going out and repairing these leaks. They might want to actually, see the picture, put that in to a visual form so you can actually go out there and repair it, the proper connection right away instead of guessing at it from the leak tag and reading it, that sort of thing. So, but then, if you want to hand this off to someone that doesn't care about anything but the figures, you can do the report without images, and it'll, just use up less data. But what this does, it goes through, gives you a chance to name it. And I'm just going to keep leak survey report 5-2022. And I'm going to type in my email address and then just hit send. And what that's going to do is send that off to your email. And it's going to be a zipped up file. So you will want to be able to unzip that before you can actually use the document. So typically, a laptop or a desktop is going to be the way to do that. All right, so kind of next up in the menu there, the tutorials. This actually kind of links us over to our YouTube page. So it's got basically all of our tutorials that we've ever done. A lot of ultraprobe software tutorials for DMS and Spectralizer. That's where those are going to reside. And then obviously to contact us if you've forgotten your regional manager's name or forgotten the contact information for us in general, you can go straight through there to get in contact with us. And then one of the good ones here, something that's new in the app, the settings. So this is giving us the ability to change the cost of your electricity or the cost of a gas, and kind of put in your hours and runtime. 24/7 is what I've got the setting on here, and then also adjust your settings, currency, and language. So used to, you had to kind of dig into the settings of your iPhone to actually manipulate these things. So this is a quick, right off the cuff, hey, here's how we can change them. Now, once you do change these, this is going to change it across the board on all of your surveys. So just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to hit save here, and data updated successfully. And there we go. Easy enough. All right, so I think that's kind of the main highlight points of the Leak Survey SideKick app. From here, I'll dive into one of the actual leak surveys. And I've got one here that it's not the same one that I just did, but it's one that can show us a little bit, some more of the settings and the features of the reporting system itself. So, all right. So first off, that it's in an Excel format. And as you can see, it's, it definitely, if you're used to using any of our old leak surveys, automatically right off the bat, it's more, I think it's more visually pleasing, but we're using kind of a little bit of a dashboard format so that you can track trend, filter. It's kind of a big thing as well. So however many surveys you have, in which for this one, I've only got one survey, and then the dates here of when each of the leaks were actually entered in. And then it's got your months, that sort of thing. So you can actually filter in which one you would like. And then if you ever want to restart it, you can just show all here, and that will bring all of them back into the picture. But as you can see over here, over in this pie chart here, it's got how many leaks you've actually captured, what your total savings are, and then how much you've actually got remaining to to be captured. And then scrolling down and keeping a tally. So out of the same figures up here of the cost, we've got 38% of our leaks complete. 5 of them are repaired out of a total of 13. And also one of a new feature here is the ability to, we have a minor, moderate, or major leak. So it's gonna just right off the cuff give you a, hey, this is a very severe leak. We might want to fix this one on our next outage versus, another one. So it gives you a nice, neat pie chart there. So, simple to kind of understand. And then the next one here, this will actually, if you've got other specialty gases that are at your facility, this is where it'll actually break those down and let you know, hey, I've got 1 helium leak, 2 argon leaks, 1 other leak, which might be classified as like natural gas, and 9 air leaks. Okay. And then next on our list here is our energy avoidance. So your typical greenhouse gases, energy avoidance, and that sort of thing. And then also our total CFM identified. So, and then it keeps up with what's been repaired and what hasn't. So, all right. So moving right along to our next tab here. This next tab, our detail tab, this one's going to be where basically all the, this is kind of where each of the individual leaks are. And it gives you, everything that you've typed into the Leak app is what's going to be here. So it's got the date, the leak survey, the location that you put, whatever type of gas, your pressure, and most importantly, or one of the most important things here is our decibel. That's going to be, the dB value that the equipment gives you when you're 12 to 15 inches from that leak. And then that leak size in CFM, so our estimate of that. And then our tag number. So this would coincide with whatever leak tag you got, whether, you're counting on an actual 2-part tear tag or surveyor's tape or something like that. And then we've got a checkbox here if it's repaired or not. If it is repaired, this number over here will turn green. If it's not, it will either be orange or red or more red. So, and then again, here's our greenhouse gases for each one individually. Now this first column, I kind of left that one off, but wanted to revisit it here. So this is the images. So each one of these are documented, and we have it down here at the next tab, the image tab. So say if I want to know where this unit 16B valve stand is, that's giving me a 57 decibel leak, I can click it and it brings me right to it. I can tell very quickly, hey, this is my circle, that's where the leak is. We need to replace that piece of equipment. So, but as you can see, that hyperlink pulls us to that images tab. So this is where all of our images are kept. Okay. And it breaks it down, your type of gas, your cost for each one, that tag number, your location, and any of your comments that you gathered at the moment. All right. And last but not least here are survey settings. Survey settings are basically all the settings that, while we have the app open and going, these are all the settings for that. We're pretty transparent about any of our formulas, that sort of thing. But one of my favorite things here on this, on the app itself is, yeah, we've got our UE Systems logo over here, but say you want to put your own logo, like your company logo, whatever company you work for. We've got this little button down here, so we can click to insert company icon. So I've got just a generic, a UE Systems logo in here. But if you click on it, this gives you the ability to, it'll open up and ask you to find a picture of, of whatever you would like to put on there. So say I just wanted to change this up and put a different icon in, it'll populate it right here for you. And then it will also, populate on each of the top corners of the tabs that we have. So that's a really neat feature. I know a lot of times people are asking, hey, how can we get this report? And can we just get the template and take your name off of it and put our logo on it? Typically we're like, yeah, sure, go do it. But now it's a little bit more easier for doing that. So, but I think with that, we are pretty much at the end of everything I wanted to share with everyone today, as far as finding leaks, tracking leaks, understanding what is available for everyone out there, and mainly your accessories. Definitely a holster. Always always use a holster when you're out there while you're doing these leak surveys. And safety is king. So. But yeah, with that, I will I guess open the floor up for questions if there are any.
Yes, awesome. Thank you, Chase. Great job. Definitely liked this format, so thanks for being the guinea pig to test her out. Okay, so we definitely have some questions. I might just kind of, if we don't know the answer to some of these app questions, Chase likely will, but if there's some that we don't know, we can obviously get back to you guys offline as well, but I'm going to ask them. So the first one, someone was wondering, Chase, is there going to be support for iPads? They're saying the scaling for the app on the iPad doesn't seem to fit the screen. So do you know if there's a solution for that, something we could be doing different to help?
We actually probably will connect to understand that issue. That's not something that I've heard of, and obviously this is with our app, this is basically 1.0 release. Basically, it's our first release. So, but yeah, whoever is having that issue, thank you for pointing that out, and we definitely want it to be able to work friendly with iPads. So yeah, not at the moment, not yet, but maybe we can get on a support call here after this and figure that out.
Cool. All right. So then the next one, someone's wondering, and I feel like I was talking to Tony about this the other day. They're saying, does the app work well if you have a team where everybody can kind of see each other's results, or does it make more sense to have a single account that everyone just uses?
That's a great question. And actually it gives you the ability to do either or. So you do have to create a login or whatnot whenever you are logging in on a device. But that's just going to be up to the users. Personally, I kind of like each person having their own, login and doing their own leaks and sending those over. But I might not have come across that perfect scenario of seeing, just keeping a one blanket, account for multiple people. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Great question. Yeah.
All right. And then this question, I hope you know what this means. What is the view format? 3x4, 16x9? Do you know what that means?
I don't, but we can definitely we'll get that answer for that person.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. How about this one? Can I bring in reports from the old Leak Survey app to the new app?
That's a great question, and I'll go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. The answer is no. Now we can go in and manually, put those figures into the new app, obviously. But if you've got pictures or something like that, you can load a picture from, say, your gallery on your phone, or maybe I know this seems ironic, but maybe take a picture of from another phone of your image or whatnot. But as far as kind of like a one button converting over, no, not at this time.
Okay. I'm not this might relate to some other folks as well, but this person's saying they're not allowed to load the Leak Survey app on their phone. It's a, you know, a corporate IT policy thing. Is there a way to run the leak spreadsheet directly on my laptop?
Yeah, I mean, just as any, an Excel document's an Excel document. Once you got it on your desktop or a laptop, you know, we're not going to stop you from manually typing them in. So no, great question. And that's, used to before we had, these fancy apps. That's how we, that's how I used to teach it. Get your notepad out and document it, and then come in and write it down by hand. So no, you still definitely can do that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then just to kind of answer, because there's a few people asking, Chase showed the leak survey procedure towards the beginning of the presentation. We'll definitely get that sent out to those of you that are asking for it. So no worries there. We'll make that available. We did record this. If you missed at the beginning when I mentioned that, we did record it. So we'll have it up on our YouTube channel later today. So if you needed to share this with somebody on your team that couldn't make it or whatnot, that will be available. For those of you that are asking some more specific kind of leak app questions, we might do best to solve some of these offline and get you hooked up with our team that can kind of help actually walk you through some of the technical issues that some of you might be having. Like Chase said, it is the first version that we've put out there, and what's great is it's, as with all things, as you put these out, you learn the things that are good to add into the next version. So definitely don't be shy about sending in the questions and things that you guys need a little help with. Here's a question that's more related to the instruments, Chase. They're just wondering, in regards to the 3000 and the 9000, can you detect electrical anomalies with either one of those instruments?
The answer is yes. So typically what people are going to use as far as the kilohertz, you're centering the equipment in at 40 kilohertz, which the 3000 is already hard fixed at 40, and the 9000 has the ability to go back and forth. But I would, it works great at, a troubleshooting tool, like that. But, if you're doing electrical, I really push you to get something that can record sound, so that you can make sure that you're able to analyze that sound file, and ensure that it's not like a mechanical thing, mechanical chattering or something like that with it. So that would be my answer for that.
Yeah, use your 3000, go find a bunch of air leaks, show your boss how much money you're saving, and then ask for the 10,000 or the 15,000, and you'll be good to go. You'll take your leak survey. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so anyway, like I said, we'll reach out to some of you, or to all of you that have asked questions offline, so we can get you guys some of the specific support that some of you are asking for. We will definitely get that leak procedure out to you as well. And I'm just gonna take this. I guess I don't even need to, because you've got I was just going to put the contact info up, but Chase, you've got that on the screen there, so no need. But yeah, so we will put the recording of this up on our YouTube channel later today. Remember, that is a great resource for all kinds of information on, if you're interested in electrical, we've definitely got webinars and presentations and tutorials about electrical over there. Obviously leaks, all the things. So definitely check that out. We will hopefully be back on a more regular cadence of doing these webinars. We love doing them. We've been kind of conference busy lately, so hopefully we've seen some of you guys out and about, and hopefully we'll continue to get to see people more and more as the year progresses. But thank you all for spending some time with us today. Never hesitate to reach out to anybody on the team. LinkedIn is a great place to also find us. We're always happy to help and answer any questions you might have, and provide that support that you guys might be looking for. Chase, again, thank you so much. That was great presentation. Yep, 2 thumbs up for Chase. And so with that, we will let y'all go and enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and we'll catch you guys later.